Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we're going to take a look at Lost in Space, Season 3, Episode 1, and it has been such a long wait for this. I enjoy this show so much, and I've only seen the first episode so far. I'm going to try to do these reviews as I see the episodes. I will let you know how long my self-control holds out, because these episodes are an hour at length. I think it should hold out longer than it did with glitch text, but okay, I am going to do a short spoiler-free section of the review, and then I'm going to get into all of the spoilers. There aren't many. Let the spoiler-free section begin. This was a solid episode. It was well written, pretty decent, well acted, and it just establishes what's happened. And there's actually a really long season 2 recap, which was needed. I mean, between all of the delays, it's been a while. And actually on Reddit, I actually typed out my own recap of season 1 and season 2 for someone who asked about it. But yeah, it's been a while. I actually watched through the recap because I was so excited for season 3 to come out. Watching the recap eased some of the steam out of my emotions, eased some of the pressure off my emotions. And okay, so this episode is entirely world building, world establishing, showing you where things are and how things stand. Tells you what's happened over the past year. I don't know that they would have done the 1 year time jump, and this is no spoiler. Everybody knows child actors grow. And the actor who plays Will Robinson hit that growth spurt. He was clearly hitting it. He was full into the growth spurt by the end of season 2, and they could not have done anything but a 1 year jump. Even a 1 year time jump is pushing it, even if it weren't for the delays, because yeah, those growth spurts happen so fast. There were two awkward moments in this episode, but the only truly awkward one was the one where they have him sitting in a chair in his spacesuit, talking and reacting before the time jump, because you're looking at him and you're going, there is no way that is the same kid we saw at the end of season 2, but you know why, you know the reasons, and you have to forcibly suspend your disbelief. It was very similar to the beginning of The Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf and Frodo are interacting and they're trying to make Frodo look hobbit-sized, and it was a little awkward because of all the forced angles they had to use, but you accepted it because it didn't really detract from the story that much. Ever since humans have made plays, you've had to suspend your disbelief because of technical issues like that. But anyway, so this is a solid first episode. It does everything that it needs to do. It does it perfectly. They throw in a few plot twists, some which are things that that were natural developments from the character growth in season 1 and season 2. And a huge chunk of this episode is looking at the character dynamics, how people are interacting with each other, how they are getting by, and the emotions and the character development and the feels, rather, are woven into the story so well as they set up the world that the emotional parts never feel labored or cringy. They all feel, not only are they storytelling-wise perfectly done according to what we've seen of the characters. All of the characters are in character. All of the characters are asking as we expect them to do. There's conflict, naturally formed conflict. There's love triangles that we 100% would expect. Whoever wrote this episode can human very well. At no point did I say this emotional interaction between these two characters is unnatural or forced or frivolous. The emotional development, excellent. The character development, excellent. The world building, excellent. And yet I said there were two cringy moments. The first one was strictly technical. Child actor bolts up in height suddenly, hits that age, and the script has to work with it somehow. And they did their best, but there's only so much CGI can do. The second cringy moment, you will see it when you get into the episode. We'll go into it in full detail. The second cringy moment was an homage to every cringy action adventure sci-fi space movie ever. They plugged it in there It was relevant to the plot, and it helped the plot advance, and it added some emotional tension, and it was terribly cringy. It was ridiculous. It flies in the face of the rather solid scientific work the show has put into establishing itself, but I didn't care. I cringed, I laughed, but I gave it to them. Number one, this show has just built up a lot of goodwill. Number two, the cringe was exactly the same kind of cringe that you would have gotten in the original Lost in Space series. And it's exactly the same kind of warping of the laws of physics that you would expect from any action-adventure movie. So I forgive the completely ridiculous scene of problem solving where they solve the problems in a completely absurd but fantastically exciting way. Okay. Now, let's talk my own personal theories. If you remember, I had a few theories that we still haven't had confirmed or denied, but we have had evidence for them. Now, one theory was that the reason Scarecrow came to Earth in the first place was that he didn't just come there by chance. He'd had some interaction with Grant Kelly, and he'd gone to Earth to contact Grant Kelly's people. Theory number two was that there was some sort of war and conflict between the robots, and a lot of the robots' actions are driven by the fact that they're reacting to each other and to this conflict, and not specifically reacting to the humans. The other theory was that Alpha Centauri is starving. It was a poorly set up, centrally planned colony, and without the Resolute to constantly bring it supplies, it's collapsing, which isn't really a theory. It would just be reality in this situation. So I'm going to put the Alpha Centauri is starving one to the side, and we'll look at these theories and how the first episode supports or refutes them in another video. But there was a lot that Scarecrow had interacted with Grant Kelly. We actually do get some hints that might have happened, or the hint might mean it's going in an entirely different direction with that. Everything's kind of vague. Again, this was a world building episode. I keep wanting to say chapter because I've been reviewing so much manga recently. Anyway, as to there being a war between the robots, well, there's evidence for that too. But now we're about to get into the spoiler section. So if you don't want any spoilers, click away now and go check out the links below the video. Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a book of human absurdity, something the robots would certainly agree with. And Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available on Amazon or ordering them straight from the author. And exciting news, my printer says they should be printed within a few days. Things have just been running kind of slow for him, as they have with all printers. I'd hoped to have them out weeks ago, but anyway, spoilers! And you know what? Spoilers are going to be in the next video. I just realized this video is already 8 minutes long. I'm probably going to go at least that long on the spoiler section, probably going to go into a lot more detail. These episodes are an hour long after all. So that was my spoiler-free review of Lost in Space, Season 3, Episode 1. TLDR version, I liked it. There were a few cringy moments, but they are entirely forgivable. They're either completely unavoidable or just forgivable because of the genre that this is. After all, it's a space sci-fi action adventure, and Three Little Birds, Episode 1. I'd wondered about that title. Anyway, peace out, my wonderful viewers. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share the video if you want. Please, word of mouth is my best friend. Check if you're already subscribed. Check to make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube will, for random reasons, unsubscribe you. And check out my book, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a book of human absurdity. Peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.